Welcome to Cactus Core's top 5 main characters in video games. My name is Kevandre.
And my name is Bobby.
And this is something that we basically just came up with in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of missing stuff, and I think that's going to add an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it's just kind of trying to think of who are your favorite game protagonists in just a few minutes. You know, kind of only barely able to look at everything and remember everything. So if we're missing something obvious that you think, oh, of course this person likes this. Sorry, we didn't try very hard. This is not a professional channel. You know this, so it's fine.
And we thank you for watching anyways.
Yes.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, why don't you go first?
Usual format. We start at 5, work our way up to number 1, and we go back and forth. So my number 5.
He has a 5, and I have a 5. Yeah.
We had to list them from 5 to 1 in order. So we couldn't just go, oh, and these two I couldn't pick, number. No, you had to make a decision. You had to draw the line.
And I've got 3 honorable mentions as well.
Yeah. So my number 5, though, is going to go towards Master Chief from the Halo series.
Okay.
Very interesting character. I've also read some of the books, so about how he got founded and luck and all that stuff, which was always sort of interesting to me. But just that raw, badass character, just, hey, I know I can take command here, so I'm going to take command here. This is my responsibility. And Cortana pretty much helping him along the way, saying, hey, dumbass, don't do that. And then he does that, and things go wrong. And then he has to go and try and fix him up. I think he's a very interesting character, and I just really like it. It's one of the few first-person shooters that I genuinely enjoy. So I would feel awkward leaving him out.
Okay.
But yeah, Master Chief.
I always felt like he was kind of just like a blank slate. I mean, you'll find that with a lot of main characters, obviously.
Bella from Twilight comes to mind.
Yeah, but she's a literal blank slate. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's fine, I guess. He's not really my favorite.
I think it was mostly a lot of the interactions between him and Cortana that helped build him up for me. I like Cortana better, but I wouldn't say she's a main character, so He gets it.
I know. There are a lot of characters that I like more than the characters that are on these lists.
Yeah.
But obviously the protagonist is not generally going to be your favorite character in the series. My number 5 is Mario.
Of course.
See, I couldn't put this list together and not have Mario because I feel like his presence by default generally makes a game better. I think he works. He's a very strange kind of character.
He's been around forever.
And yet he's in a gajillion games. We were looking at like the top 10 Switch sales games like
for the United States.
And like what, 6 or 7 out of 10 had him in it?
6 out of 10 had him in it. 5 out of 10 he was the main character.
Right.
Because one of them was Smash.
Right, and that doesn't really count. So I mean, I love the Mario series, and I like him as a character. He's not my favorite character in the series, but I think he does well. He's not offensive to me. I don't dislike Mario. You know what I mean?
And you certainly have a lot of lore to choose from.
Oh, sure. Whether it be imposter Dr. Mario, right? Who don't have no medical license.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He just chucks pills at you.
Yeah, better than Yoshi and his tax fraud.
Also true.
That's a whole different thing. Anyways, on to number 4. My number 4 is Link.
Okay.
Because I grew up sort of in that genre. I wasn't a hardcore, like, Legend of Zelda, Link fan and all that. But I did play the first game way back on NES days. And then I got back into it sort of with the DS genre when they started coming out with those. And I really liked a lot of those games. Even some of the ones that nobody else liked. And then Breath of the Wild hit, and I loved that. And then they came up with a whole compendium saying, here's the whole story, and I didn't realize exactly how big he was and what all he had done. So yeah, our proud and silent protagonist, except for when he screams, fed checking chickens.
Yeah!
Yeah. Yeah!
Do you have a favorite Link?
That's a really, really good question. Probably Breath of the Wild Link right now.
Okay.
But that might be bleeding over, because that's my favorite version of Zelda, too.
Really?
Yeah. Scientist Zelda.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right? I'm all about them smart chicks.
If I had to pick a Link, I'd probably go with Skyward Sword Link. I think he's got a lot more personality.
Okay. I suppose I should say Minish Cap because that's the only one we've played on the channel.
Yeah.
And he had the sassy hat, which was great.
And as for Zelda, that's no contest. That's Twilight Princess Zelda. She is my favorite designed Zelda by far.
She's a very good second place.
I quite like that design.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyway.
Your number 4.
My number 4 is going to be Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising specifically. Obviously, in the first 2 games, he was just, hey, this is your avatar, play this NES game. But Uprising comes around, and they infuse Pit and Palutena and Hades and all of these characters with so much personality, it's incredible. Pit especially is amazing. You know, people give him shit because he eats ice cream off the floor, and he's like, but floor ice cream gives you health, and he loves hot springs and everything. He's amazing.
Okay.
The best part of Kid Icarus Uprising is the interactions between Pit and all of these other characters. Specifically Palutena, she's kind of just, you know, he clearly, like, reveres her, and she just gives him shit and pranks him all the time.
Good for her.
And it's phenomenal. Like, and the actors did an excellent job. I really love it, and I would love an HD version of Uprising or a sequel or something, because man, that game is hard to play on the 3DS.
I can believe it.
It's not an easy game to play. The controls are hard, and I think it would work better on a console. So I really would like to see a new one eventually, because I think that it's underrated because not enough people have experienced it.
Because
Watch Chugga Conroy play it.
Oh yeah, he did do a playthrough, right?
And
okay.
he did an excellent job.
I had forgotten about that, but you showed it to me, kind of. I was like, hey, that's a thing. I recognize a name.
Yes.
But I don't know who that person is. I heard that name. Anyways, on to number 3.
Yes.
My number 3 is going to be Solid Snake. Right?
Yeah.
Because stealth game, I don't know if you heard a little da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Stealth game, I originally started out watching my dad play the first Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation. And I think we went over that in one of our earlier, top games or whatever. But I really, really liked it. I liked him going around and, like, choking all the guards and hiding them inside lockers and stuff and going up against, like, Meryl. And I really liked it.
Can't forget your ass.
Right. And some of it gets a bit weird because I'm kind of blending, like, some of Solid Snake in with Big Boss inside my head because of how the game continuity goes. But it's not the same. But specifically, Solid Snake and Shadow Moses Island, and all the weird-ass interactions that he had with those larger-than-life characters in video games, that sort of brought me into the more live-action sort of genre. Because until then, I was almost strictly turn-based, except for, like, one Zelda game. Yeah, and one Mega Man game. Until then, I was very much all turn-based. But Metal Gear Solid and Solid Snake kind of showed me what more there could be and how rich character development could be. I really liked that game, and I really liked him in it.
All right. I'm not gonna do a shout out. My number 3 is Sarah Ryder from Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, okay.
So take Commander Shepard, right? Take female Commander Shepard and make her significantly more interesting. She's got a lot more interesting, intricate background stuff. You know her family, her family's history. Also, just give her a dollop of personality. Not just, hey, I'm a paragon, I always do the right thing. Or hey, I'm a renegade, I'm going to push you out the window, and that's my entire personality. And also, I'm just a military lady. Don't get me wrong, I love Commander Shepard. I love the Mass Effect trilogy a lot more than I like Andromeda.
He is talking a lot of shit about Commander Shepard.
But Sarah Ryder is so much better.
Uh-huh.
And I assume Scott Ryder, but I've never played Andromeda as Scott before.
Uh-huh.
I love Ryder. Man, she makes stupid puns all the time. And I like her voice actress a lot more. And I like everything about Ryder. I think she's great. I just think that people prefer Shepard because Shepard's in better games. But
you're talking an awful lot of shit.
Look, man, who here's the fanboy?
Okay, so going on to my number 2, it's FemShep.
Specifically FemShep?
Specifically FemShep, because Siha.
Okay, Siha, yeah.
Right? That, like, alone added... crap, hit the cable on the microphone. That alone added so much life to that character for me. And some of the special interactions that she has with her romance options. I was fine with Commander Shepard before. I'd kind of played the Mass Effect games a long time ago, and it was kind of like just a thing. But our playthrough of it, and watching you go through all the extra options and all the side stuff and all the DLC that I had never seen before, and doing the extra romance options that I didn't even know were kind of a possibility, yeah, I fucking love FemShep. And there you are on your number 3, just, man, this character's so much better than him. Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
Play Andromeda.
No, not gonna.
Oh, okay.
You play Andromeda.
I did.
Yeah, and I'm gonna watch you.
Very recently, and I'll do it again shortly.
And I'm gonna watch you, and I'll be like...
Are you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I watch you play a whole bunch of games. And then I'm going to be watching this writer chick and be like, this bitch, not even half as good as my FemShep. There is only one commander of my heart.
No, she's not a commander.
Siha.
I don't know why he liked the Thane romance so much. It's
I loved it. It was so good. Fuck you.
It was alright.
It was great.
Alright.
It might be my top video game romance of all time.
That is blasphemy and madness.
I love it.
Because my
so
top
much.
10 video game romances are all going to be from Awakening. Anyway, I've done a lot of those, friends,
you have.
and they're good. Anyway, so you did your number 2.
Yes. What's your number 2?
My
shit talker?
My number 2 is kind of a cheat and kind of not. I'm going to do number 2 to Spectre Knight from the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
Okay.
He was a boss in Shovel Knight.
But because they released it as sort of his
But
own
there's
game
Spectre
campaign,
of Torment campaign that he is the main character of.
You're towing the line there.
I'm
but
towing
okay.
the line, but it counts, right? It's
Yeah.
a separate game that you can buy on its own.
Yes. Okay.
So, Spectre Knight, you never would have thought there was this much to this character
That's certainly true.
until you play that game and you're like, oh shit, he's got a name, he's got friends, he's got a backstory, he's got all of this stuff. And you kind of feel for this character as you're playing through the game, and it's like, this is a platformer. Man, what the fuck? Like Shovel Knight himself, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess he's cool, right? You know, he's just doing the right thing. Plague Knight, it's just like, oh hey, I'm an evil scientist man, but I'm also in love with this chick, and that's my entire personality. Spectre Knight, a whole different thing. Really, really good story in that game, and
Easily
the main
the best
character.
campaign.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the main character is awesome. And I'm just like, all right, I never expected this, Spectre Knight, but I see you, and I really, really like you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, because
I sold you on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good one. Yeah, and I watched you play a lot of his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I haven't played it myself yet. I think we're saving something like that for the channel.
Yeah,
at some point.
we're gonna do the treasure trove on the channel at some point. It's gonna be fun.
whenever that comes out. All right, but on to number 1s, which is sort of a big one for me. So my number 1 is Zidane from Final Fantasy IX.
I knew it was gonna be Final Fantasy,
Of course you did.
and I assumed it would be 9. I know nothing about Final Fantasy 9.
So Final Fantasy IX is set in a medieval setting. So you got like Steiner, who's the classic, knight.
Yeah,
and
he
all
looks
that.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And you have tons of interesting characters. Vivi has his whole backstory, and it's so tragic. And oh my god, I care for that little black mage feller. And you got Freya, who has her own special thing, and love interest who loses his mind and all that stuff. Kind of spoilers, but the game's like 20 years old at this point, so get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
But Zidane starts out as just a kind of orphan dude who doesn't really know his past, but he's joined up with this troupe. You start the game by kidnapping the princess for ransom money, and then it goes like fucking shitstorm wild for there. He has to take her out of this forest that's turning into stone, then he has to run with her over somewhere else to try and save her, and then oh no, it turns out she was actually trying to escape this whole time, blah blah blah, evil queen, gotta save her now because you're falling in love, and then more shit happens. You figure out he's from an entirely different planet of clone people, which is fucking out of there, and he's like kind of
These
twinsies.
Final Fantasy
Yeah.
games, man, I swear to God, they take it one step too far every single time.
It's awesome. Shut the fuck up. And he's kind of like twinsies with the main bad guy-ish. Not the final boss, but the main bad guy. And then all this heart-wrenching shit, and it is fan-fucking-tastic. Man, the whole rogue to saving the princess thing, it's unbelievable. I love him so much. And if I could choose to hop into any game and be a character, it would probably be him.
Okay. My number one is going to go to Sigma from Zero Escape, specifically from Virtue's Last Reward. And this was a hard one because at first I put Junpei on there instead from 999. And I prefer 999 as a game. But Virtue's Last Reward, I think, has just a lot more to it. You spend more than double the amount of time playing Virtue's Last Reward than you do 999. Thus, you spend a lot more time with Sigma. And he's a very kind of similar character to Junpei in the first place, though he's a lot more perverted. And he makes a lot more stupid cat jokes.
I can see why you like him now.
Yes.
Okay. It's all coming together.
So
picking it up.
I've said previously that most of the games that I like to play are like platformer types. I don't like to play a lot of narrative-based games, with a few exceptions like Mass Effect and things like that. Thus, I don't usually get a lot out of the main characters. Zero Escape is a visual novel.
Yeah, there's a lot of main character in there.
So you get to know these characters.
Fuck, I forgot Hana.
I thought of Hana. I wouldn't put her on my list. Because that bitch is crazy.
That's why she would have made my list.
Anyway.
Fuck.
Sigma is amazing. He got a lot of really good backstory stuff in VLR and then later in Zero Time Dilemma. And he's really good. If you haven't played... I don't want to spoil anything. It's visual novel, man. If I say literally anything, it's going to be spoilers. So just play Zero Escape. You know what? We're probably going to play the series on the channel at some point because we're kind of getting into this visual novel thing.
Yeah, so just hold your horses. We'll play it.
Yeah, well, it'll be fucking amazing. I love the Zero Escape games. You guys are great. But yeah, that's my number one. I waffled between Junpei and Sigma. I think that there's a lot to Junpei, and he's also great. But I think that Sigma has a little more to him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were like, oh, you picked a Final Fantasy, but you didn't pick Cloud. Cloud's obviously best. No, Cloud's kind of an emo bitch.
Yeah. You should pick Squall.
Fuck no. I like good characters.
Yes.
So,
Or Tidus.
Tidus would have been fine. Don't really have too much of a problem with Tidus, except for the voice actor.
Yeah.
Not even the voice actor, because he's a good voice actor. Just the voice acting in that particular game.
Right.
I have problems with it. But Zidane didn't have voice acting.
Yes.
Right, and he was very funny.
But yeah, honorable mentions. Do you have any?
Well, Hana.
Okay.
From
Asagawa Academy.
Yeah. I cannot believe I completely forgot about her. I'm not sure if she would have quite squeaked in at number 5. I would have had to think about it a lot. But yeah, she's certainly up there. Crash Bandicoot almost made the list.
I picked up CTR today on Xbone.
Yep. Yes, you did, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to play that soon.
Yeah. Those are really my... I'm sure I have a whole bunch more. I didn't have anything to write them down.
Right.
This is all me thinking about it and lodging that in my head. So I'm sure I have more, but right now those are all I got.
So I've added a couple. First thing I'm going to say is Junpei. Just because I took him off the list, I still wanted to mention him again on honorable mentions. He's a great character. Again, very similar to Sigma in a lot of ways, but with a little less to him.
Okay.
Voice actor in the Nonary Games versions of the games. Very good. We've also got Samus, the first female video game protagonist. What a revolutionary. We're playing Metroid Prime on the channel now. We're probably done with it by the time this video goes up.
Probably.
But
at the time of this recording, we're still
playing it at the time of this recording. But yeah, she's just a significant character with a great design and a truly impressive series. And I gotta give her a shout out, man. She's a great character, even though she doesn't talk all that much.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I also wanted to do my dues to Commander Shepard, because even though I definitely prefer Ryder, I also really do like Shepard. Shepard, just by comparison, has a lot less going on.
I disagree.
Her story has a lot more going on, but herself is a lot more blank slate, which is on purpose.
Did Ryder ever get called Siha?
Would have. in the fucking DLC if it ever came out.
Yeah,
but we didn't get any fucking Drell in Andromeda because people overreacted and said, "Oh no, this game is terrible. Cancel everything." Fuck you.
Well, we didn't. So Femship wins.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
And then the last one is another game that I picked up today. I wanted the boss from Saints Row. I really like the boss from Saints Row.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In our playthrough on the channel, we went with the Laura Bailey boss, which is a fine boss, and she's great. And she contributed to all of these videos on YouTube where people are having Lucina saying things from the boss because it's both Laura Bailey. And it's hilarious. But I liked the one by Tara Platt in Saints Row the Third. The kind of Eastern European voice. She's amazing.
Yeah, he really gets wet.
I do. I really liked her voice. And then they took her out in the fourth one, so fuck you.
For reasons unknown.
For reasons unknown. They didn't even ask her and replaced her with a terrible French voice. I like a French voice, don't get me wrong. If it was Dr. Michelle from Mass Effect, I'd be 100% okay with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But go fuck yourself because that French voice sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, I also played as the male boss before and had a lot of fun. I just like the murder time, fun time, and things like that. It's
these hoes ain't hoes.
Well, that's a Pierce or Zemos line. But.
I don't care. That was a great part of the game.
Yeah, the boss themselves is great. I really enjoyed the boss because they just kind of react to everything and just like the 0 to 100 kind of idea.
Yeah,
and it's wonderful.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But okay, that wraps up.
That's all of mine.
What did you think about our list that we thought up
off the cuff?
Pretty much on the top of our head.
Yeah.
If you have any agreements, listen down below, especially if you agree with Zidane. If you agree with Zidane and you type it down below, I don't care how many people do it, you're getting a shout out. Because
yeah, he doesn't want to have to think of shout outs for the future anyway, so make his day easier.
But also, I like it when people agree with me that Zidane was awesome and Final Fantasy name.
I'm going to get so much shit for this Ryder Shepherd thing.
Yes, you
and
are.
I don't mind because I'm right.
I'm right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He hasn't played Andromeda. He doesn't get to have an opinion.
I get to have an opinion.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah. That's like saying you haven't played Final Fantasy, so therefore your number one doesn't count. See, it makes no sense.
I didn't put Final Fantasy on mine.
Yeah, I know. That's the point. Oh, you didn't play it, so your opinion is wrong because you don't know? Yeah. See, it's a bad argument.
You don't know.
It's a bad argument.
He doesn't know. Bobby doesn't know. Anyway.
That Fiona and me.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.